Secondly, when it comes to narratives, the story we tell around our argument, we want to make sure that we're crafting coherence with sophisticated transitions. Now, I talk about transitions a lot as a tutor. It's something I edit a lot when I get students' work. I look at it. I often look at their use or lack of use of transitions and where they're using it. Now, transitions play a critical role in creating a coherent and compelling narrative in your essays. And sophisticated transitions are the secret ingredient, I think, to a seamless flow of ideas, or at least to make it look like a seamless flow. It might be. Transition can act as bridges between ideas, and they can really guide your readers smoothly from one point to the next, and thereby enhance the logical flow of your essay, making complex arguments easier to follow. There's all kinds of types of sophisticated transitions. There's different transitions for different purposes, whether you're contrasting two ideas, elaborating, concluding, beginning a paragraph, ending a paragraph. Selecting the right transition word is key to making your argument flow logically. On the right side of the slide, I've put a helpful list of some transition words and phrases for different purposes that I encourage you to go through and look and use, but make sure you understand what their purpose is. When you're thinking of incorporating transitions, you need to think of your transitions as signposts that guide your readers through your argument. They should clarify the relationship between your ideas, making your essay more accessible and engaging. I've put an example here where I took the sentence, public parks offer mental health benefits. They provide space for exercise. Where simply by adding a furthermore, public parks offer essential space for exercise, amplifying their mental health benefits, that argument flows more easily. I've not just combined two phrases, two sentences rather into one, but I've also improved the flow of it. I think an important note is that sophisticated transitions should enhance clarity, not clutter your writing. So you don't want to overuse it just for the purpose of using them or adding words. But I think the bottom line is that incorporating sophisticated transitions into your writing can dramatically improve the coherence of your essays. It's not just about moving from one point to the next, it's about weaving a narrative that effortlessly carries the reader along with your argument. Now, we will turn to our final point when it comes to constructing academic narratives, which is crafting concise and impactful reading. This comes back to my point that academic writing, while complex, doesn't have to be super long. It needs to be precise, it needs to be clear. So let's explore how you can hone your writing to be both concise and impactful. Really, the goal here is to strip away the unnecessary, so the essential of your argument and your narrative shines through, making your essay not just readable, but memorable to readers. I think the essence of conciseness is that you want to do it to keep the reader's attentions focused on your argument. This is again about constructing a narrative that supports your argument, doesn't overshadow your argument. Your narrative is a supportive building block for your argument, builds the foundation and helps your argument shine through and takes away attention from the reader that would be spent on these bloated, long-winded explanations. When we're thinking about conciseness techniques, we need to think about conciseness as it's not about losing depth, it's about enhancing clarity. Every word in your essay should serve a purpose, especially I think for the John Locke Essay Competition, the word count, max word count is 2,000 words. So make sure that every single word of those 2,000 words has a purpose. It's there for a reason. By eliminating redundancies and choosing your words carefully, you make your writing sharper and more direct. I've put a few techniques here, eliminating redundancies, of course, being the first one, using strong verbs. So instead of saying is indicative of, write indicates. That saves 2 words, but it also makes it a lot easier to read. I think as humans, we forget sometimes when we're writing how we would read it. We like the way it looks when we're writing it, but if you're reading something like is indicative of as opposed to indicates, it's much easier to read. Remove filler words. Word like very, really, just can often be removed without changing the meaning. This is often one of the first things I do when I have to edit students' texts and make them more concise, and prune unnecessary details. Keep only the details that support your argument or add value to your narrative. I think when we're thinking about it and we're thinking about cutting down our essay, it can be a bit scary because we're thinking, how do I maintain my impact? How do I make sure that my writing is still impactful, even if it's shorter? But I think here, impactful writing is what resonates with the reader. It's achieved through clarity and also through conciseness and the power of your arguments. When you're concise, your main arguments stand out more and they grab the reader's attention. That's why I think conciseness is not at odds with impact. It's actually a reinforcing characteristic. I encourage you here to look at the before and after example. And you can notice how the concise version delivers the same message in every single one of them, but in a way that's more engaging and easier to comprehend. This, I think, is the power of conciseness in action. I've not only saved words, but I've actually strengthened my argument. Concise wording is not just about saving words. It's primarily, I believe, about strengthening the argument, making your text easier to read, building this narrative. I think by applying these techniques, you'll be able to craft essays that leave a lasting impression on the judges of the John Locke Essay Competition, but also other readers and other audiences that you will go on to write to throughout your academic and professional career.